Welcome to the channel, folks. My name's Shane. In today's video, I'm in the Christmas room here in Miami, Florida. I've got a very special guest. Well, you probably might assume already who this is. It's Peter Gregg, everybody. The camera aficionado himself.
There we go.
Thank you so much for...
Thank you for having me.
Let me get
awesome guy.
Christmas room here and do this interview with you. I appreciate it. We're going to talk camera stuff because, of course, who would have guessed? But I felt like you've inspired so many of my purchases over the years by having cameras on rotation here that I thought we might pick your brain a little bit and see, you know, what you still think of some of the older cameras, because not everyone wants to buy the newest thing. And then we'll talk a little bit about maybe what's caught your eye. Maybe we'll start there. So out of all the new cameras you've seen, you know, in the last couple of months or so forth, what's the one that you think, I wouldn't mind getting my hands on that?
Okay. First, I would do a disclaimer.
Okay.
First, welcome.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you.
We're in the Christmas room. Okay. So Shane is visiting from where?
Melbourne, Australia.
Wow. That's your arms must be tired.
Yeah. It's a long swim.
So I'm really very honored for him to be here. The disclaimer that I would make is you watch YouTube people, okay? And we even make videos for YouTube.
We do.
There's no bad cameras out there for the last 2, maybe 3 years, or maybe even longer. But we'll make it for comfort. So this isn't like a camera, I'm not a camera bashing personality, honestly, okay? But cameras do catch my eye, all right? Different ones. So the one that's got my eye at the moment, okay, is something that neither one of us own. Okay, and that's the Canon R7.
Beautiful.
That Canon has left that slot wide open, and Sony has stepped in, Nikon has stepped in, and I have to say that Canon has set it up so that I'm cautious with them. We have an 8K camera, and guess what it doesn't do? 8K. Well, it does it, okay, but
yeah, for 12 seconds.
Yeah, right, okay, it's like really, and then the Panasonic. What do you have running now?
This is the GH6.
So we are running on the Panasonic, which I would normally blast it. Okay, so, but it looks like it's holding the focus pretty well.
Yeah, autofocus, and it works great. So, it works better than it did.
The best question to ask is, Peter, what camera would you buy right now?
Which camera would you buy right now?
Oh, I got that. Shane, you caught me off guard. I would go with the R7 right now.
Yep.
Without hands-on, and that's a pretty dangerous thing to do.
Yeah.
Most of the time, you should have hands-on, you know. But I know Canon well enough to up until the 5D Mark IV.
Yep.
They were just freaking awesome. Then the 5D Mark IV basically caught me with my pants down. I did not expect to have 4K that would not work in my computer. So it was how could Canon do that to me? I was really upset. I even came up with a song, No 4K for You.
Yeah, I remember that one.
Okay.
Yeah, that was a good one.
So you had to do MJPEG, all right? But the camera, the Canon camera itself is still an amazing, amazing camera, okay? I would buy a Nikon too. Like I said, I'm a fanboy for all of these guys. I'm not buying a camera. It's not a sports team. Like, I will only do the Miami Dolphins and nothing else. Yeah. I will buy the camera that I like now. So the R7, is the one that perks my attention the most. Matter of fact, I've got it on pre-order. Oh,
wow, good, okay. Cool. Well, can't wait to see it in the rotation here when you get your hands on it. I guess being like what people call an influencer, whether you admit to that or not, anyone who puts videos out there about products, reviews, positives, negatives, all that kind of stuff is in some way influencing someone else. I know I've been doing that for 12 years on my guitar channel, and now I've got my little tech channel as well. I know people have based their purchasing decisions on some of, at least my videos, when it comes to audio products especially. What do you think you probably had the most influence with in terms of the cameras you had in your hand? Did you see something in the comments like, oh, thank you so much for this? Because I bought a GH5S based on your video up against a Canon, I think it was, at that particular time. And I'm sure you've probably seen one camera being maybe the focus of the channel for a while that might have influenced.
I know personally of at least 6 to 8 people that I can name. Some of them have YouTube channels. Some of them are just friends, okay, that bought a camera just because I said so. So I take being an influencer more important than I have to get views. Like right now, the R7, okay, is not even out. And yet they're attacking it from a very stupid point of view, almost like they don't know what they're talking about.
Yep.
But they don't realize they're influencing people. And then you've got what I call monkey see, monkey do, copycats. Now I see other people saying, well, there's too much noise at high ISO on the R7.
Yeah,
well, it's actually, what they're trying to tell the audience is that we're going back in quality, which is not going to happen.
No.
It's going to be better than the 90D. It's going to be better than the 7D Mark II.
Yep.
And you could actually start comparing it with the R6. Now, I don't have a hands-on, but it's a crop sensor. How could it possibly compete with a full frame sensor? You've got that. You've got this camera, which is
exactly.
and then you've got the RX3, right?
Yeah, the FX3, yeah.
FX3. I keep saying it the wrong. Okay.
That's all right.
So you could see the difference.
Oh, absolutely.
It's just inherent.
Yeah.
You know, and that's why when I watch these different people that are specs only, if they make an opinion, okay.
Yeah. It's
so the R7, okay. I could picture myself knowing what the camera should be doing, shooting a wedding with it.
Yep.
Okay, let's see, for instance, you influence me. I can barely make a G chord or a D chord. If I was gonna buy a guitar though, I don't even know the name of it. You had a blue and a white guitar that looked really gorgeous in one of your last 4 or 3 videos. And you liked it. I'd buy that guitar because of you.
Yep.
Okay, not even knowing what the heck I'm doing. And I have to realize that people are doing that with me too.
Yeah, yeah.
So I'm careful not to say, you know, I recommend this or I recommend that, and then people get disappointed when they're hands-on with the camera.
Yeah, yeah, fair enough.
Okay, so
I mean, the final recommendation comes from use, right? You can say,
experience.
yeah, exactly. You could say, I'm looking forward to this because of these reasons, but and then you can get it. It could be a completely different situation, or it might exceed your expectations. That's kind of how I felt about some of the cameras I purchased. They were either way better than I thought they'd be, or I appreciated them more the more I used them. The S5 was a good example of that. It's like maybe the least expensive full frame camera. I guess the point is maybe the immediate dismissal of something based on specs only isn't a healthy attitude when you finally get to use something for an extended period of time. And I think that often goes overlooked on some of the preview channels.
okay, here's where experience comes in.
Yeah.
Okay, can you hand me that flash unit with the white
This
thing?
one?
Yes.
Yep.
Okay. Now, because I'm a wedding photographer, this is not a commercial for my stuff, guys. I actually make this part. That's a disclaimer. I'm showing you that I know about flash. Okay, so when the digitals came out, okay, I noticed while we were looking at cameras together, you like to use the viewfinder.
I do,
okay.
yeah, which is weird. I didn't know that, but
okay. Now, when you're looking through the viewfinder, you got a focus spot.
Yep.
Okay, so when Canon came out, their very first camera was a D30. Then they went to a D60. Then they went to a 10D, and then they started climbing until we were up to now whatever we got, 90D, and we are on the R7. The first 2 or 3 cameras, okay, when you're looking at that focus point, you do what's called, I don't know if you do it, focus and recompose. Have you ever done that?
No, not often in video, no.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wherever that focus point is, this is something we were not used to, just a background. That's where the flash would meter. So if you have a bride with a white dress and a groom with a black suit, and let's say you focused on him and you shot, guess what? That black suit is going to overexpose her white dress. If I get the right, I didn't mean anything bad by that. Okay.
All right.
Okay. Canon fixed that eventually, and it's called ETTL2.
Ah, okay.
But the original one is called ETTL1, and the only way around that was to actually, this camera doesn't have it, but there would be a button here with a star.
Yep.
Okay, you'd have to push that button so it would meter where you choose rather than where the camera chose.
Oh, cool.
Okay, now that's making a camera work or, bending it to you.
Yep.
And that's what you're talking about. You've got to, workarounds are a very important part. That's where experience comes in over spitting out specifications.
Yeah,
okay?
totally. It's the one setup combination that you love, either if you're behind the camera shooting video or if it's in the Christmas room.
Okay. So there's two different cameras.
Two separate ones. One,
Okay.
hands-on if you're moving around.
Hands-on, without question, and because they're very identical to each other, would be the Canon and the Nikon bodies.
Okay.
I shot with Canon until they tripped up, and I don't want to go through that story, and then added Nikon.
Yep, cool.
And if I was to go back into shooting weddings actively today, I would buy the Nikon Z9.
Cool.
Okay? Or whatever the flagship is on the Canon, the R3.
Yep.
Okay? Now, in the Christmas room, it's a different answer, okay? Because once the camera is situated somewhere, you can really tune that sucker in.
Yeah.
Okay? Nothing has beat, for me, the quality from the Sony A7S Mark III, which you happen to have one.
I do. Yep.
Okay, and you've got its twin.
I do, the FX3 as well. Yeah.
Right.
Both are like, I mean, your videos watching you live was like, that's the look. The autofocus is great. But I'm also going to say, just not to cut you off, but the Nikon Z6 here is very, very close visually. It's almost like the color science on it is fantastic.
Were you just talking about experience a few seconds ago?
Yeah.
Okay, I've tuned that camera in.
Yeah, it looks fantastic.
Okay, so the experience that comes with 150 years.
Between us, maybe. Yeah.
Okay. No, it gets to be adapted to that. All right, to make it look as good as it can.
Yep.
But right out of the box, the A7S Mark III was a stunner. Okay, to me.
I agree. I mean, that's part of the reason why I bought it. It looked instantly amazing, and it was shockingly great.
It just delivers.
Yeah, absolutely.
Now, just a little negative. It's not a fun camera to use.
No.
Okay.
Yeah.
We agree on that. Okay.
There's things about it that sort of, like, I think you said it well once to me over the phone. You said, oh, they creak a little bit. But you said they've just got some characteristics that you don't love with hands-on, but the end result speaks for itself. So,
yes.
Peter, thank you so much.
Thank you for coming and visiting. I appreciate it, and for coming to visit the Christmas room.
If you're not already subscribed, I'll link Peter's channel in the cards, in the description, and everywhere else. Thank you so much. It's been a pleasure to meet you, and pleasure to do some videos in here. I've compromised the room's integrity by bringing a Panasonic in.
You're awesome. This guy is awesome. This guy is amazing. But look, I don't mean to be taking it away. I'm very surprised at what the GH6 is doing here.
Yeah, me too.
It just shocks me because I don't have that confidence to set it and forget it.
Yeah,
well, I'm not saying I could walk around, okay? I haven't tried that yet, okay? But just this interview, two guys, the camera doesn't know who's the more important one.
It seems to pick pretty well.
Yeah, it does very well. I'm very impressed.
Yeah, well, maybe we can do a test on your other channel with it if you like.
Okay, sounds good.
Thanks, guys. Thanks for watching. And yeah, subscribe to Peter's channel. I'll link it down below. Thanks. See ya.